welcome. My name is Gail Moffat, and it is so nice to see you. Do you know, I was thinking today that it would be a good time to share with you one of my experiences that happened to me and is still happening to me, actually. So as you know, I am a medium, and for a long time, I used to just connect to our mums and our dads and sisters, brothers, aunties, all those people that are in spirit, as a medium. And of course, I'm a psychic as well. So it means that I can connect to my guides and look to give guidance as well. So that was sort of, just how I was sort of, trundling along. And then one day, it was late at night, and I was in my bedroom, and I was sitting in my bed, and suddenly I saw Jesus standing in front of me. And of course, I don't know how you would react if you saw Jesus in front of you, but I can tell you how I react. I was a little bit flabbergasted, and I started to doubt myself. Actually, no, oh, I can't have seen that. Flabbergasted about it all, and so in front of me, and it was just an incredible experience that and I couldn't sort of continue with that connection. It was just too difficult for me to do because I just doubted it all. But that it didn't stop there. It kept on coming, where he was coming forward and communicating with me, and then one by one, people from the Bible era started stepping forward. And you know, you can imagine that it was just sort of quite bewildering. And I wasn't actually brought up with religion. It wasn't sort of my go-to. A lot of people have had that in their early part of their lives, and it would be their go-to, but it wasn't. It wasn't for me. It just didn't sort of occur to me, that aspect of spiritual life. And so they kept on coming through, and then they started sort of giving me little messages. So I thought, in my infinite wisdom, I thought, aha, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write this all down. So I even got into this routine where it was about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, and I would get my laptop open and open it up, and I would say, right, okay, then, who's coming through to talk? And they would always come through with a little bit of message, or something about their world, or about their lives when they were living on the earth plane. And it was just sort of fascinating, and really quite enjoyable. And I just thought, well, this is how it is. I do this in my spare time. I receive these messages, and but in my public life, or in my working life as a medium, I just carry on as normal. But oh no, no, that wasn't what they wanted for me. They had bigger ideas than that. Um, and it was one day, I had my dog then, and sadly my dog has passed away. But when I was walking him, he was still quite an old boy at the time. He was a border collie whom I still miss today. And I bet there's people out there that can resonate with this. We can get so close to our animals, can't we? Anyway, so there I was walking, Alfie, his name was, and we got to this top of the hill, and I stood up the top of the hill, and I was just contemplating walking back down again. And suddenly Mother Mary came right into my face and said to me, um, you need to go public. You have to go public with our voices. And I thought to myself, really? You Well, I've got to go public, really? Are you sure? Have you got the right person here? Um, but anyway, they spent 6 months trying to persuade me to go public, and I had my doubts. Because I was working in lots of churches in the UK and traveling abroad and going to different places, and I didn't want to be um, looked upon in a way that wasn't accepting of my work, because I know that I'm able to do mediumship, and that I can connect to people in spirit. What's unusual was the type of people that were coming forward. So after about 6 months, I said, okay, all right, I'll do it. I'll go public with your voices. And I thought to myself, well, how on earth am I going to do this? How do you go public with their voices? I mean, what medium am I going to use? Pardon the pun. And and so I decided to set up a YouTube channel, and so I do have a YouTube channel, and they come through with their voices. But I've missed a little bit out that's quite important, actually. About a year after they were coming through, God decided to come through and speak to me. And I guess, I mean, if anyone, you might have read, the Conversations with God that Neil Donald Walsh has written, that was incredibly popular in the United States and all around the world. It sold many copies, and I think it was on the New York best-selling list for months and months and months. Anyway, I so he is the one that chooses to come forward most of the time when I'm doing the YouTube channel. So if you're interested in this aspect of my work, it would be really nice for you to come and have a look. I'm on YouTube. My name's Gail Moffat, and it would be lovely to see you there. It's another aspect of spirituality that is unbelievable, some of the things that he comes forward and says. But anyway, on another note, let's go to Ginger in Charlotte, North Carolina. Are you there, Ginger?
Yes, I am.
Hello and welcome to the show. And have you ever had a reading before?
I have had readings before, yes.
Oh, good. So you're familiar with how it works. And
yes.
So, so would you like me to connect to a loved one in spirit, or are you looking for some guidance?
Probably both, if I can get them.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about moving, and very torn up over it.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it's the right move.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a gentleman standing in front of me, and I'm not sure of the relationship that I have with him yet, but I'm sure it will be revealed. He's saying to me that he would like to help you, and he's the one that wants to come forward and give you this guidance. And
okay.
I feel that this is your grandfather that is coming forward, and I feel that he is your grandfather it feels like he's on your father's side of the family.
Okay.
Did you know him well?
I didn't know him at all. He passed 3 weeks before I was born.
Oh, gosh. That must have been a difficult time for your family.
It was, anyway, I guess.
Yeah. But anyway, he's coming forward, and he says that, and that's the reason why I asked you, did you know him? Because I just had that feeling that you didn't know him that well. But he's saying to me that he knows you very well, because despite being in spirit, he's been close with you throughout your life, and has been around you quite a lot. Has anybody brought him through? Because I don't feel like he's actually come through many mediums.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
felt
believe
that.
so.
No, I felt he hadn't. And he says that he's chosen to come forward because he wants to do one of two. He wants to do two things. He wants to help you um, in your dilemmas, but he also wants to introduce himself and let you know that if your if your decision is that you take up this move, he's going to be with you, guiding you and supporting you through this whole process. Because I'm seeing you waking up in the middle of the night, and I feel like you've been getting you're quite anxious about this, aren't you?
Yes, yeah,
Um, and I feel like it's like you're trying to create a solution to a gap that's in your life. Does that make sense to you?
yes, it actually does.
And I feel that the the gap, I'm getting the feeling that there's people where you're thinking of moving to, um, it, sort of trying to encourage you along that path, but I just feel that reticence.
Yeah, it's
And
it's a hard decision. It's a little less money,
yeah, and
but it'll put me close to, hopefully
so,
in the very near future, close to my parents.
yes, I felt that about being nearer to people. Um,
Yeah.
I actually, so your your grandfather is saying to me that if you decide to take this move, he will do everything within his power to make sure that you are settled and feel comfortable in your new environment. And he's being I feel like he's being asked by God to help you along this path,
Okay.
because I do feel that um, there's some memories of this area where you're thinking of moving to that aren't so favourable. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yeah, that really makes sense. Like, yeah,
And I feel that is part of your problem as to why you're struggling to go back. But
yeah,
that situation isn't there anymore. But it's almost like it's there in your unconscious mind, and it's sort of nagging at you that
okay,
you're scared that you're going to be confronted with something similar. Because it almost feels like you were bullied or abused or uh, I'm when I use the word abused, I mean just not some people not being nice to you. Does that make sense to you?
I understand what you're saying. It,
Yeah.
I
Um.
can't put it into words, but you've
Yeah.
actually hit definitely on
But
some of my
yeah.
hesitation.
Yeah. But I do feel I want to assure you that if you make this decision, and I want to stress the if, because that if is about you. God has given us free will. But what I can do to help you is I can tell you what sort of path you will have if you make this decision to move. And if you make this decision to move, you will not have some of the difficulties that you had when you were there before. It's like it will be a clean slate. And I
Okay.
also and I want to assure you of that, because that's and I also feel that there is already people in the area that the spirit are planning to connect you with and bring in friendships. And I also feel that there is somebody that still lives in the area, that has been in that area for most of their life, and you know of them or know them. And I feel like there's going to be a potential for a reconnection as well. So I do feel that there's going to be friendships established when you get there.
That's great.
And I
That's what
and
I'm
I also
thinking of.
yeah, and I also because I do feel that where you are now, um, whilst you've got friends, you are unsure about the depth of friendship that you have with these people.
Yeah.
And I feel that you're looking for more closer friendships, a closer commitment. And I
Yes.
just feel that there will that whilst it may take a little while, but I just feel that there is plans to really help you become settled and secure with friendships around you. Because
Okay.
this, if you make this decision, this next stage of your life will be very, very different from the last stage of your life. Because I feel like, have you been in grief in some way?
Um, yeah, yeah, definitely. Uh, I felt like it was when I lived there before. I was having a lot of problems, and
Yeah,
I did feel that there was a lot of grief. And of course, I'm dealing with grief of my grandfather on my mother's side passed 2 years
yeah,
ago, and my grandmother passed 3. So
yeah,
I'm also missing them. So I'm
yeah.
picking up the grief from that.
Uh, okay, because I can feel grief around you. Um, but I just want you to know that um, you you are going to be looked after, that your path is full of light. And I just feel I do not see anything negative coming up. In fact, I only see positivity. And I can
Okay.
see you, if you make this decision, I can see you turning around and saying, I'm so glad this was the best decision I could have made. Because I really feel that whilst you're scared of not making the friendships, I feel like a sense of not being secure with friendships where you are anyway. And I just
Yeah.
feel that you will blossom if you make this next step. So,
Okay.
Ginger, sadly, we never have enough time. It goes so quickly, and it's been lovely speaking to you. And I wish you all the success in your future. But remember, you have free will. But thank
Thank
you. I can. Good luck with everything.
thank you very
So,
much. You've been very helpful.
my pleasure. So, can we go to April in McKeesport, Pennsylvania?
Hello.
Hello and welcome to the show. How can I help you? Would you like me to connect to a loved one, or would you
Yes,
like me to give you
I would
guidance?
like I would like to connect with my mom. I would love to connect with my mom.
Right. Okay. Um, right. So as I'm connecting with you and your mum, um, I instantly saw in my clairvoyance, which is the ability to see, is somebody sitting on a porch in the front of a house. Does that make sense to you?
Yes,
With so, did your mum have? We don't have that in England, so this is alien to me. But
yes.
did you?
They
Did you?
always she always sat on the porch.
Yeah, and I feel like it's at the front of the house as well.
Yes, at her mother's house, she always sat outside with her mom.
Yeah, and I just feel like uh, it was like a good. It was like a almost like a sociable area, because she not only would sit with people on the porch, but she would connect with people that were going by, or
Yes,
in the neighborhood. And I,
yes,
and I just feel that that was a real part of her life. Um, and she's somebody that she loved to talk. She loved to. I feel like she was quite good at talking and chatting. Does that make
Yes,
sense to you?
most most definitely.
Yeah, she's a real chatter, isn't she? Um,
Yes.
and I also feel like she was very keen to sort of your relationship. She would, she's showing me some clothing, and it's like I saw this and it was so cheap, and I thought of you, and I thought, oh, you've got this would be perfect for you, and gives it to you. Um, does that make sense to you? I feel like she would have done things like that.
Yes. Yes.
And also I feel that she's quite good at perhaps sometimes making things like sewing and or anything like that. Does that make sense to you? I'm not
Yeah,
sure
she
whether
liked
it's
to knit.
clothes.
Yeah, she liked to make blankets.
Yeah, because I'm seeing something that's checked, um, and I feel like she's quite creative as well with her hands. But as I look at her hands, I feel like there's some pain in her hands as well. Feel like she got sore. I don't know whether it's arthritis or something like that. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, she did complain, but she always kept knitting. She
Yeah,
kept knitting.
she's and I feel like she's really sweet as well. Really quite a nice nature. And I
Yeah,
also want to say that there's an anniversary or a birthday coming up around about now.
her
Would
birthday's
that?
coming up soon.
Yeah, yeah. I felt it was hers. Um, and she says that she still celebrates it even though she's in spirit. Um, and also, I feel that you've been asking out to spirit because I feel like you've got some um, like uh, there's a part of your life that you're not entirely contented with. And I feel like you've been asking out, like, I need help with this. I'm I just feel like you're not entirely content. And,
I'm not.
and you've been asking out for help. Does that make sense to you, asking out?
Yes, most definitely does.
And your mum is aware of you asking, and she says that that I will do whatever I can to help you. And I feel like she's busying herself in the spirit world, like getting the right people and organizing the right people for help. Because if and she feels like she's on a mission with this. She's got it in hand and she's off. She's going to do it, and I feel like she's going to be successful at it because she's determined to help you with
That
feeling
sounds
more
like her.
content. Yeah, yeah. She's determined to help you feel contented. She doesn't like it, and she's showing me where you've had tears in your eyes as well. Um,
Yes,
and she's saying that she doesn't like seeing you upset because she's saying to me that it's almost like you're in an environment or in a situation that you can't do much about. It's like this is my life. This is the way it is, and um, but I do feel that there are times where you think that you wished you had a different sort of life because you feel
yes,
that your life is not completing you and not entirely making you happy.
right.
But
It's true.
I I know that your mum is going to do everything to try and help you with that situation, and try and bring in. I feel like they're going to bring in people, friendships into your life that's going to help you because I feel a good friend can really lift your spirits, can't they? And I just
Right.
feel that that's what she's planning for you, a good friend. because I feel that you had a good friend, but for some reason that person's not in your life as much anymore, and
Right.
and you've been missing a good friendship, and she's telling me that this is her plan, to bring friendships around you.
I need it.
Yeah. She's saying friendships are important for you. And I also feel like there is someone in your life around you that almost like doesn't support you in the way that you would like to receive support, emotional support. Would that make sense
Yes.
to you?
Yes.
She's, and your mum's aware of this because she's telling me this, and I just know that she's promising me she's going to do everything within her power to lift your spirits and help you feel more emotionally better in your life, and sort of more secure. I hope that
Thank you.
helps.
Yes, a lot. It helps a lot.
Oh, good. So I just know that she's going to be around you and supporting you in your life. So you've got it's going to be. I feel like her presence around you is going to be really positive. So watch out for some changes, because I know that she's going to have a hand in a lot of this.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
I said that watch out for some of the changes in your life, because I do believe that she's going to have a hand in a lot of this.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure, and thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
So, so if anyone, if you like the call, the readings that I've done, find me on Facebook, and it'd be lovely to connect with you. And see you next week. Goodbye.